Hey everybody, happy Sunday. How's it going? Forgive me. Forgive me. How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday. What's up, Rebecca? How are you? Oh man, happy Sunday. It's my hero day. Oh yeah. What's up, Simo? How's it going? All right, everything is all set. Everything looks kind of good. Mytha, what's up? Happy Sunday, everybody. Turn this heater on. I just walked in the house, like quite literally. Just walked in the house. Milton, what's up? We're here. Excited. I'm excited to see what's the continuation from last week, because last week was a little bit. I will say there were some comments under the last stream where I understand what said person was trying to say, but what's up, Moshi? I understand what the person was trying to say, and they're right to an extent, but there's still another side that you have to look at it from. It's like, yeah, I understand that Toya was told why, like what the plan was, what the deal was, what Endeavor's goals were. I get that. I totally understand that. Toya literally took it to heart that he would be the one to do these things, right? And it's Endeavor's and Ray's fault for allowing it to transpire the way it did. And I totally get that. But it then comes to the point of, yeah, Endeavor shouldn't have done it. But, and I don't want to say it's Toya's fault for being the subject of emotional abuse, but he was told, like, it's not like how the person was making it feel. It was as if Toya didn't have a choice, or he was kind of forced to do this, and Endeavor was selfish for his goals. And without looking at the comment, I'm not doing the comment justice, but it was kind of just taking all fault away from Toya. Not excusing what he's done as an adult, but all choice from him as a child. And I'm pretty sure in the chapter we read that Endeavor told him to stop, right? And he said no. Like, he said no, they don't believe in me, so I'll do it anyways, like, or something along the lines of that. So he was told stop, and he continued. Now, as a parent, you need to, like, and they didn't take the right course of action. That's why at the end of 301 she says it's not only your fault, right? She does say those words, like, it's not only your fault that this happened, you're not the only one that overlooked him, we're all at fault. That's what Ray said then to Endeavor. So what they chose to do in response to his defiance of you need to stop hurting yourself was to ignore him and continue moving forward, when they both should have done something else. But it still leads to the fact of them saying that they came to the realization that, you know what, you shouldn't do this. Maybe you should stop. We're looking out for the well-being of you, even though it's for a greater purpose. Up, Madman. Even though it's for like a greater purpose. What's up, Rock? Did I say hi to you, Rock? Like, it's for a greater purpose, right? Everything Endeavor was doing was for the purpose of surpassing All Might. But he still loved his kids. You can't say he didn't love his kids. He kind of just drove himself crazy with trying to surpass All Might. he does love his kids. We see that. We see as much as that. It's just something had a more central focus. You're gonna read the new chapter on a solo notification? My bad. I sprung it on you. I'm sorry. But it's just like Toya holds some fault. Like he was, like, granted they should have taken the extra step, but you know, they didn't. It's not like they just completely just was like, yeah, you know, we're not gonna mess with you anymore like that. Like they tried to get him to stop and he wouldn't. Because he even says, like, you too, Fuyumi? Like, Toya's like, you too? You don't know me. You don't know my body. He's a child saying these things. So it's like, of course, like, that means that they've been telling him time and time again to stop, and he's continually to say no. Like, that's... Granted, they're the ones that put him up to it. They charged him with this. But... they told him stop. Like 100% can't go on the parents. If you keep telling a kid, hey, don't do this, don't do it, don't do it, and then they do it anyways, like, okay, hopefully you learn your lesson then. But for him, like, quirks are a part of your personality. He inherited Endeavor's personality, so touching the fire and getting burnt wouldn't be enough. He's going to keep doing it. 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 So that's that. I felt like I had to just at least try to talk about it, because to the point I just didn't feel like responding to said comments under the stream anymore. I responded once and I was just like, I'm not doing this, because I already voiced how I felt during the stream. So yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's not 100% Toya's fault that this happened. I'm not saying that it's his fault that it's happened. It's Endeavor's fault for explaining to Toya exactly what the hell the deal was. I don't think he should have did that at all. I felt like you should have kept that a secret. You and Ray should have bore that. You shouldn't have told the 6-year-old the reason why you were doing this. But they did, and it went to his head completely. He's his father's son. And it went to his head completely. All right. I'm looking at the first page right now. And the title is The Wrong Way to Put Out a Fire Part 2. And I'm pretty sure what they did was, like, after this attack from 301 that we see Toya lash out is the reason why Shoto's was separate from the other children. So Endeavor probably would rationalize it, because at this point we already know that he's completely broken down. He's gone, right? He's completely gone at this point. We know by the time Shoto's born, he's gone. So I think he would probably, I'm just like, before I read this, I think he would keep Shoto separate away from the other children, and the sins of Toya would then fall on Fuyumi and Natsu as well, because if he's capable of doing it, right? If he was capable of doing it, then the others would be capable of doing it, and we can't have that because he's the prize child. He's the one that will do this, and we can't risk it. I think that's kind of the reasoning behind it. Camera's just not working with me today, huh? I feel like Enji was a good father until Shoto came. He was serviceable. I would say that he was serviceable. He had this goal that surpassed anything. He had this goal that just surpassed anything in life. So yeah. He was going to end up in this route either way. He was either going to go crazy from never inspiring a child to do it, right? There's most people, like, he was either going to go crazy from never having a kid to be complete half and half, or exactly what happened. Yeah. I feel like most people at this point that I know are gonna be like, when are we going back to Deku? Yeah. I don't fault them for it, but I'm actually enjoying what we're getting. You think he was gonna give up on his goal, but Shoto came and he went all in? Ooh. I didn't think about that. That was the third option. Ah, what's up, Dexter? Happy Sunday. Ah. Okay. I kind of like that. All right. Looking at page 1. Let me stop babbling long enough. From now on, we're keeping Shoto away from the other kids. I'm too busy with work to look after him 24/7, which is why I've hired help. But you, don't take your eyes off of Toya. He just wants you to look at him, to notice him, that's all. What is this that they have on Shoto? What is that? Is that like someone? What is? I'm confused. I'm not confused. I just don't understand what it is. It looks like something's like on his nose or something, or his eye. I don't know what that is. All I can show anyone is the world of heroes. Look at her face. Heroes? Aren't you just running away? Look at his face when she says that. It's a snot bubble? I was like kind of confused. I'm like, what is that? It kind of looks... That's a snot bubble. Oh, wow. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny, but... His face when she says that. 5 years later. Hey Toya, let's play. Only daughter Fuyumi, age 12. Second son Natsuo, 8. First son Toya, 13. Okay, so we're getting actual ages on them. So Fuyumi is 23 right now. How old is Fuyumi? So we have an actual confirmed age on Dabi. Toya. Oh, sure. Third son Shoto. Don't look at them, Shoto. Your siblings belong to a different world than you. Just this one time, please let me play with Toya and them. No, it's time to train your output capacity. I was like, what is that? That's Endeavor's beard. His flame beard. Look at the look that he's giving. Toya, I'm at the top of 4. I mean, that one time was my fault. Little Shoto didn't do anything wrong. But Dad's to blame too. Won't even pay attention to us because we're failed creations? Crazy, right? Is that what modern heroes are all about? Making all these kids they don't even need? I see the tears in his eyes, but you see I look at this panel on page 4 with him talking to Natsuo, and I just feel Dabi emanating from Toya right there. I just feel it. Hey, why don't you bug sis about this stuff once in a while? You're telling me to buzz off too, Natsu? Even you? I'm talking to you because you're the only one who gets it. You agree, right? The women in this house are good for nothing. Oh, wow. Wait, you're about to run off to that mountain again, are you? Aren't you? Excuse me. Why don't you hang out with your classmates once in a while? I don't need friends. We live in different worlds. Once again, Natsu did nothing to help. Toya. What do you even want to be a hero? As your mother, it looks to me like you're suffocating because of who your father is, and you're suffering for it. Whoa. Look at his eye. Look at his eye on page 5. She's 23 now, and so Dobby's 24 going on 25. Confirmed age, yep. Once again, Natsu did nothing to help. Did nothing to help. Toya, there are so many paths available. Countless options for you. Try looking beyond your father. See what else is out there. If you do that, I'm sure you'll find the man you want to become. He knows them. He knows who he wants to become. He wants to become, well, Jesus, camera. He wants, well, Child Dobby, I'm going to move over to page 6, but Child Dobby wanted to become the person to surpass All Might. But now he's just, okay, I'm looking at page 6. What the hell do you know, Mom? Wow. Where'd you get that tidbit? Some self-help book? I know about Grandma and them being real poor, so they had to sell you off. You had no choice. That's why I was born, right? Ooh. You're guilty too, Mom. Oh, wow. The fire won't go out. Sheesh. Jeesh. That was rough. This is just a case of her speaking up 5 years too late. 6 years too late. They should have had that conversation with him when he was much younger. But even if they had that conversation with him, he wasn't hearing it. That's the whole thing. Like, the kid was never going to hear it. They could, like, yeah, they were, Endeavor was having these kids for this purpose. So he's at fault. And they told Toya the reason why that they were doing this. And at that point, he was never going to give this up. I genuinely believe there was nothing that Endeavor or Ray could have said to Toya at any point in his whole life. Once they told him the reason why they were having kids, that would have changed his mind. I personally believe that. And I personally take that into effect, right? I take that into effect when thinking about what he ends up becoming. Because it wasn't like Endeavor never said anything to him. Just because you don't see Endeavor tell him no, you listen to how he was talking in the last chapter when they were toddlers, right? When they were toddlers, and Fumi was like, you should stop hurting yourself. And he was like, you don't know my body. Everyone keeps saying that. I'm going to do this because this and this and this. That means like they're having these conversations with him and he's choosing to not listen to them and to continue to do whatever he's doing. So at that point, he does become responsible because he's not listening to his parents that are telling him no. Now, someone's going to take that and be like, well, his parents are the reason why they told him. Right? You're the reason why this is happening. It's just like, yeah, I get it. I messed up. But you can't just keep pointing the blame back at me. I messed up, especially if we're like, I messed up. We need to get him to stop. We need to get him to stop. We need to get him to stop. He's hurting himself. He's hurting himself. We need to get him to stop. And he won't stop. He won't stop. There's nothing, like, if there's nothing you can do to get him to stop, like, at that point, yes, I'm the catalyst, but I'm not the reason why it's keep going. Toya may look back at it and he's the reason why, like, I'm looking at me as you're the reason why I keep doing this. But you got to hold yourself responsible. Now, Toya, he's 13. He is at the age of responsibility to a certain extent. Not life, adulthood responsibility. But he's old enough to understand right and wrong. And he's carried all of this throughout these years. He carried it from a child of saying no and being like, nah, I'm not rocking with that. So now it's too far gone now. The boy was too far gone at the age of 6. Well, if he's 13 now, if you take away 5, 8, like he was at the age of like 6, 7, 8, he was too far gone. There was nothing you could have done for him. There was nothing. There was nothing. There was nothing. It's crazy. Imagine your child going up to you and saying you're guilty too. Especially if I know I'm guilty. That junk gotta hurt. Exactly. You're aware enough to know like what you're doing isn't right. What's up, NW? How are you? I'm on the top of 8. Top of 8. Toya was always small because he came out of the oven a little early. Oh, so he was premature. But at long last, he had a growth spurt. Right, it's just another bodily process. My flower power is linked to my feelings, so if I get riled up, I'm pretty awesome if I do say so myself. Man, Dad's sure in for a surprise. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm just reading this like Endeavor's not all to blame. Because Toya is still holding on to what Endeavor told him 8 years ago. Not 7 years ago. He just wants this, the validation and the satisfaction. Along with those physical changes, his fire changed from red to blue. But dang, when I get worked up, I don't know why, but I start crying. I think those are the real emotions spilling out. What's up, Julian? What's going on? Happy Sunday. Listen, Dad, next time you get a day off, you've got to come up to Sokoto Peak with me. How is Endeavor going to react to this? Hold on. Oh, he snatched him. Oh, look at him. New burns where he can keep them hidden. He's been training that way on purpose. Damn it, again. No, wait. What I can do now is really cool. You've got to come see. I might be as awesome as Shoto sooner or later. Maybe I'll even be better than All Might someday. Then you gotta give me some respect, Dad. You'll be glad you created me. I just know it. That's rough seeing him like that, though. I'm not even gonna lie. Why didn't you stop him? Look at him. Oh my gosh. Sheesh. All I asked you to do. Look at little Shoto. Don't bully mommy. Stop it. Don't be mean to her. Get out, Shoto. It's none of your business. What the hell do you know? Yeah. Yes, my options were limited, but I made my choice and I walked that path on my own accord. I had hoped, if nothing else, that I would keep smiling. Yet, I can't stop him. And you didn't go after him. I love the splicing in between. Oof. Quit crying already, stupid tears. I thought I'd only be throwing fuel on his fire. No, that's not it. The truth is, I had no idea what to say to him. Oh my gosh, neither did I. This panel right here. This panel right here on 11, in between the ray with Toya and the fire going over his eyes. Camera not letting me live today. Oh snap. I'm at 12. Holy crap. Man, that was hot. The flames can't stop them. Well, that's just desserts. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, he literally combusted. That's crazy. Yeah, I figured, like, I have a good grasp of your time in W, and I'm like, I'm not even stressed or worried or why isn't he joining anymore? I completely know. Glad you stopped by though. Only thing he's missing is a wife beater shirt. What I want to know is, how often did this happen? That's what I want to know. I want to know how often did these outbursts from Endeavor happen? Because it seems like he kept Shoto separate. I don't think he was around there beating the hell out of Ray. I don't think that was the case. I think a lot of hers was emotional trauma. I don't think he was really just beating the brakes off of her. I don't think that was the case. Are you liking the family dynamics at play here? I'm enjoying learning exactly what happened and what went down. I'm definitely enjoying this a lot. Well, there's but so much you can enjoy from domestic abuse. But in a narrative way, I'm enjoying what the story is giving me. I'm enjoying it. It's definitely it's a touchy subject and it's hard to talk about, but I do enjoy it. But this clearly shows that Toya burnt up. So what the hell happened? Look at Endeavor. If only I had given it up all that day. Oh my gosh. I'm at the top of 14. Oh my gosh. But having killed Toya, I felt there was no turning back. So I poured all my energy into Shoto, at the expense of everything else. Once Toya was gone, you grew worse and worse until I couldn't stand the sight of you. It got so bad I even started seeing hints of you in the children's faces. Wow. Look at Shoto's face cut in half. I knew our family was broken, but I was too scared to interfere. All I could do was try to fix things just to keep up appearances. It was you who started all of this. You're the root cause. But maybe if I had slugged you in the face and made you have a few... maybe if I just slugged you in the face and made you have a few serious talks with him, Dabi never would have come about, and I would have been enjoying some good soba with Shoto all these years. You're not the only one who's responsible. I'm glad that this is being said. I'm honestly starting to get tired of that, so that's what I look over and see. You're not the only one who's responsible. And now we all have to take responsibility for what comes next. Your heart may be broken, but we're here to get you back on your feet. You have no choice but to fight Dabi. Look at him. Are you really the woman I married? One of our children who suffered much more than us. Well, despite having every right to resent me, he started calling me mom again. He's been making friends at UA, and he's the one saving us. Shoto is our family's hero. Look at that. I kind of got goosebumps. I kind of got goosebumps from this. Oh, I kind of got goosebumps from that right there. I talked with Mom before we came to see you. I thought this couldn't be your battle to fight, and that I was the only one who could do it, but I was wrong. Once you're done grieving, stand back up, because we all have to go stop Toya. He's yelling Shoto. Dog, man, I think that I was so afraid. I was so afraid of what the outcome was going to be from this. I'm so glad that this is the outcome from this. I could possibly cry. I could possibly cry. No, so all he does is just exist and blame others for everything. I get that he was abandoned, but either contribute or leave. It's the best line he had in the story so far. Absolutely. Natsu's the kid. He's just there. He's just there. Jeesh. I'm so glad that this didn't turn out. Like, I was gonna be hurt. I was gonna be really hurt if they gave him like that ultimatum. I was gonna be hurt if they gave him like the ultimatum or of get him back or die. I'm so glad that they've all come to this point of we haven't been right. We haven't been a family at all. And now we need to put everything behind us in a sense. And we need to actually come together as a family so we can end this once and for all. I absolutely love this. Absolutely love this. Absolutely love this. I think we might get, I think this was it. This was like this panel right here. Panel 16 was the panel we were working up to. These been like, this was the panel we've been working up to for this whole arc. Like this whole little mini endeavor, what are their names? Shoto. Yeah. No, Todoroki. Jesus, I forgot their name. This is the whole, like this panel right here of Deku yelling at Shoto during the sports festival was this is the panel we've been building up to. God damn, camera. And I think we'll probably have like a little bit left to finish up and then we'll move, because I don't think, like, what else do we get? Like, we got their backstory, we went back, we've come back present, and now I think we move forward. But I do love that if not for Deku quite literally destroying himself at the sports festival, we don't get this. We don't get this at all. We don't get this at all. This doesn't happen if that boy doesn't do what he does. Oh yeah. You know Hori's sitting on that. He's sitting on that one. He's sitting on that one. Honestly, you know what I think this is? I truly do think the reason why we got a lot of this Todoroki family like exposition dump right here is probably because maybe, I don't know, we know that Hori pays attention to the fandom, and I think because people kind of like fan guessed who Dabi was, he pushed it off. And now I think he's just like, I'm getting it all out of the way now. Because he could have laced it throughout multiple arcs, but I think he kind of pushed it. And now it was like, because we know the story was supposed to be done by now. Like this story was like, he's gone past his projected finish date. So I do think he was just like, I'm gonna get all of this out right now. That's why we got like the last 3 chapters about them. Well, since 300 we got it out of the way, so now we're gonna move forward. And since like we got this stuff with, like, we see oh my god, that's Genus and Hawks in the bottom left. I think we're gonna move to some more stuff in the hospital. I think possibly next chapter, because we could still probably get another chapter, because we've been having Dobby laced in between their conversations. So we could get next chapter of Dobby explaining what happened to him. We could, because none of them would have that information. So I could see Dobby telling us what the hell happened after he combusted. My Dobby Franken theory is only getting stronger by the day with the Yeah. Poor kid needs his paycheck real quick, right? Deku's a therapist. Always got the feeling that Todoroki wasn't supposed to be this relevant, but fans love him so much that Hori made up the extra story. Yeah, pretty much. I think a lot of these series, they go that way. If there's a lot of fan reaction, I think honestly, like live action TV shows go that way too. If the fandom responds positively to a character, they'll write a character into a story. I'm just glad, like, because if all the Todoroki family stuff wasn't supposed to be this interlaced, I'm glad he came up with a pretty good story for them. Granted, if you want to see it or not, it is a good story. Like, it's actually really layered and it's very interesting. I'm glad it's not stupid. Like, we could have some stupid side stories for some characters. I'm glad this one isn't it. Yeah, it's been there for a little bit, but he could have like embellished a little bit more. Like, we could have, like, that could have, the whole show, the Todoroki family thing could have been explained much more. Or honestly, it could just be because as you're writing a story, there's characters that you could create and backstories that you could create. I know the fact, because like I'm like a creative person, like thinking of stuff. There's like there are characters that you could have a backstory for, and that's just the backstory for them, and you're like, eventually you'll explain it, but it's not that crazy. We're going to manual focus after this. God damn, it's actually annoying. But as you continue to write a character and you continue to stick them in there in certain places and put them in certain places and do everything, like as you start to do all these things, you could actually fall in love with the character and give them more. Yeah, so it's like Shoto, like this whole plot line could have been a thing, but like the Endeavor stuff couldn't have been a thing. Endeavor possibly could have just been a character that was just bad. And then you start to get some Endeavor love because Hori's kind of like, you know what? Kind of falling I'm kind of falling in love with Endeavor, so let me change this and let me change this, and then we rope it back to the main story that I plugged, and then it's just like, well, now I gotta answer this, and then it blooms into a flower that you never really expected at the beginning. That happens when you're storytelling. That happens when you storytell. Based on what we theorized in this chat, Izuku's about to have the worst day ever. Yeah, every single character that Izuku has been a part of their defeat is released now. Every single one. Overhaul is out, Muscular is out, Stain is out, All for One is free. Another thing to keep, yeah, they do go weekly. I do think that with what's his face, with Hori had a lot of this stuff planned out. I think Hori had a lot of this story planned out for the simple fact that movie 2, right? Like for the fact that movie 2 was the original ending of his series. So he obviously, like, he's already explained to us that he's past the point of where he thought the story would be done. And like there's, so Hori has like the general he had the general idea of what the story was. So now it's just kind of, I think it's a little bit of like people have fallen in love with characters and he's falling in love with characters, and he's expanded upon their stories that weren't originally there. That does. Yeah. It explains that Endeavor never went to the mountain, so he never saw his flames turn blue. Yeah. I like that actually. Yeah. Thinking about flashback into the fight at the sports festival. This chapter is a link we need to go back to Izuku. I'm sure we'll finally return to him next chapter and possibly see him in the Vestige world. We could. I would like for us to go to the hospital and not Deku first. I would like for us to go to the hospital and see people around Deku, and then go into Deku's head if he is indeed in the Vestige world. I would personally like that more. I would like it if we got some information, not all information, what some characters think, and then go in instead of going straight to Deku and then we're still waiting. But I think Hori would probably write it like that, so we get the news as he gets the news, or he wakes up and his arms are gone, something crazy like that. You guys, the camera being blurry is so annoying. Loses arm, mom is dead, Toga's posing as Inko, Musk goes on his way to kill him, Jigaraki's about to kill All Might, etc. Like, the list goes on. Stain is something that's up in the air. He might help Deku. That would be a crazy pairing, right? That would be a nuts pairing. Ow. I hope Hori doesn't love some certain characters because he loved Mirko. We know how that goes, right? It seems like Hori, he treats the characters he loves the worst. he treats the characters he loves the worst. Togo probably wouldn't do that. She's the type of yandere to make a good impression for his mom. Like, Toga already explained to us that she wants to see the blood of the people she loves the most. So, yeah. That is funny. I really like the idea of Stain helping him too. You know how many writers do stories as they go along? I feel like Hori has been winging it for a while. I don't think he's been winging it. I disagree with that. Because Hori takes his breaks to plan out the future of his story. Like, he takes a break like every 2 or 3 months. He'll take a week off just to get ready. Because a lot of the panels that were in the war arc, he had took, like, that's why, like, he was giving shorter chapters. I think he was giving shorter chapters because he was like future drawing some of those panels, because there's a lot of panels in the war arc where it's just like there's no way he did this whole chapter with that panel in a week. And I think a lot of the reasonings for a few of the breaks that he was doing was I'm researching for future chapters. Like I'm like, essentially he's saying everything but saying I'm drawing ahead. He did that quite a few times. Like, he did it, I think, in the war arc, he took a break. And that break, like a few chapters after, was when Deku went crazy and you got the full spread panel. Like, you had like 3 full spread panels in one chapter. There's no way he did that in 1 week. So he was drawing ahead. I don't think he's winging it at all. I'm pretty sure he has an idea of how he wants the story to go and where it's gonna end. I think next chapter, next chapter is either going to be Dobby taking over the story and explaining what happened to him, and we'll get one chapter with that, or we leave the Todoroki family and we go to someone else in the hospital. I do think that. What the heck? I'm about to end the stream. The camera alone is taking me out. Do you think the Night Eye prediction of All Might dying is still happening because we're reaching the time limit? We're reaching the time limit in which you kind of confusing me. I get what you're trying to say. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Night Eye's thing, like, dream is still active. Possibly. Well, I would say yes. I would say yes. I would say yes. To reestablish Sun Eater and Fat Gum are dead. I think if Sun Eater and Fat Gum were dead, we would have that confirmation, or they would have let us know that they were either dead or missing. And when we got all the information about all the heroes that were injured and stuff, I think that's information they would have told us, because Fat Gum is a pro hero. And if Fat Gum was like missing in action, MIA, that would be reported, I would assume. Right? It's all right, Milton. It's all right. I hope if he really loves Deku, he should make him wake up with one arm missing and Deku screaming. Deku wakes up to the TV broadcasting of Shigaraki killing All Might on live TV. But that would then mean Deku's not in the story for a little bit. And how much? I like that idea a lot, but that Deku not being in the, even though Deku was a big part, a big part of the war and did a lot towards the end of the war. I just need to get over it that Deku is never going to get the respect no matter what he does. So that means Deku's not going to be in the story for a little bit, and then who do we follow at that point? What if that small girl, I forgot her name, healed All Might and he died fighting Shigaraki? Eri used all her power to give Mirio his power back. So she's not able to use her quirk right now until she builds her power back up, which is identified by her horn. And one thing we need to realize is that even like we need to realize, and a lot of people are not realizing this, and it's pretty like baffling to me that you don't realize this. Even if Eri rewinds All Might gave his quirk away. It's literally not a part of him anymore. There's no way that One For All can be duplicated even through Eri's quirk. I don't think that would be possible. So the only thing that would come from Eri rewinding All Might is the fact that he wouldn't have his stomach wound anymore. That's it. He would probably be buff All Might with no powers. He would just be a large man. That's it. Deku has One For All now. That's All Might's quirk. All Might was a quirkless individual. That would convolute the story if you rewound All Might and All Might then had One For All as well. It would duplicate it. It would cause I think it would cause some sort of balance, because One For All has evolved and proven itself to be something that links itself through generations. I don't think that would be possible. I think there would probably be some sort of, you never know. Honestly, if that happens, it could end up turning into what's his face. It could turn, well, it depends. It could turn into a all for one situation where two people are inhabiting the same exact quirk through unnatural means. I don't know. I don't know. It's just it's a lot of weird stuff. I don't know. People are just trying to find a way to keep Midori out of the story. Uraraka would be the most likely focus character for other. I think so. I would love some more Uraraka in the story. I would. She's a good character. She hasn't been given a lot of shine. Well, she's a good character. All right, she's a good character. I don't know why she gets the Sakura stigma, but right, I don't get why she gets the Sakura stigma. She's it makes no sense. Like what has she done to deserve less time in the story? I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's been a minute since she's gotten anything. Well, she gets, like, each character gets little things in every arc, but it's been a while since she was the focus, right? Everyone, like, each character so far has had a like, not each character, but like Shoto's getting his focus now. Like, Deku has, like, he's the main character, so he's gonna be prevalent in every single arc and stuff like that, but like, each side character is going to get like their focus, but every character gets little things in between. Like, they all get like their bulk share of development through the arcs. And it's just, I feel like Uraraka deserves her focus. I also feel sorry for Ida because he stopped being relevant a long time ago. When's the last time we spent time with the students, though? Too much screen time, not enough substance. Ochako, not enough screen time, a lot of substance. Exactly. All right, Pempy. Yeah. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Catch you next time. I appreciate you for stopping by. I also do feel like it's like very obvious that the story was oversaturated with heroes, and now that we're in a part of the story where there's not a lot of heroes anymore, we'll get more focus on the characters we care about the most. I think that's pretty obvious. If the last 2 chapters ago, 3 chapters ago, if 2 or 3 chapters ago, if 2 or 3 chapters ago it wasn't literally explained that heroes are quitting on the spot. I think with the fact that Hero Society is now being broken down and it's being brought to a minimum, that the characters that are actually going to stick around and try to be heroes are going to get more focus, meaning our kids in school. I would love to explore the idea of some of the kids in school not wanting to be heroes anymore. I would love to explore that, though. Ida was dodging 4 near high ends. He's good for now. Yeah, he was. He totally was. I would love to explore, as long as we don't have to deal with any more Kirishima. I like Kirishima. I like all the characters. That's why it's weird whenever everyone's like, I don't like this character or that character. I like them all. So that's why I'm always weirded out when everyone says that. When everyone's like, I really don't like this character. It's just weird to me. It's just like, I like them all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I like all the characters. I don't know. So I'm just like in this weird spot where I'm just like, I don't understand. I scratch my head at it. I'm at that part. I feel like people who feel bad for all the students, especially 1B. We need to see them. Yeah, I would like to see some more of she's got no backstory or something. No, I just don't. It's just weird. It's just like I don't like that character. He's poor. It's pretty sad depending on who you ask. The problem isn't that Ida doesn't do stuff. He does, but the story doesn't frame him anymore the same way it did in the Stain arc, so he doesn't feel main team-ish. It's just you have 20 kids in a class, and the kid you may like might not get the focus. So when they get relegated to being in the background as other characters become more prevalent, then I don't know. You just, that's what happens when you have a bunch of characters. It's just the fate that you're resigned to. It's just the fate that you're resigned to. I want to see that character more. I don't know. I do think they're all gonna get their shine eventually, though. Kind of have a headache. I do have a headache. Said I kind of have a headache. Said I kind of have a headache. No, I actually do have a headache. Oh gosh. She had to eat, sleep on multiple occasions. That's a sad backstory. It would be great if Ida had like a Kid Flash chapter. We had to run across the country to deliver a heart to a dog. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. But the whole thing is, I don't know. We want all it's the fact of everyone has a bunch of characters that they like in the class, and it's just like someone's got to get the focus. And as soon as someone gets the focus, then someone's mad because someone else isn't getting the focus. So it's just, that's what it's always going to be. So it's like Shoto's getting the focus now. People are going to be like, I want the focus to be on someone else. But then as soon as someone else gets the focus, someone's going to be like, ooh, why aren't they getting the focus? I don't understand why this character is getting the focus. So it's always going to be that. It's always going to be, if the focus goes back on Deku and we get a Deku arc, people are going to be like, where's the rest of the class? It's going to be something. If you focus on the villains, we're not going to like that we're focusing on the villains. I want to see the kids again. If we focus on 1B, guess what? We're going to focus on, we don't want to focus on 1B. I want to see what this person's, it's going to be that. It's going to be a perpetual cycle. That's what it's always going to be. Other than that, nothing outside of Stain would be semi-relevant for him. Yeah. It's just, the story just will have to include more things. You just, I don't know. Where we're at in the story now, what's up, Becky? How are you? Where we're at in the story now, like, we've already, like, 1A has a big three, and it's Bakugo, Shoto, and Deku, right? That's our big three, and everyone else is going to become secondary to that. So that's when you get the big three on the main stage fighting Shigaraki and Dabi, and then you have the secondary stage the secondary stage where the next group pops up: Kirishima, Momo, Ashido, like them, like they get to fight Gagan and stuff like that. Oh, hey Rebecca. So it's gonna be that, and then I think eventually we'll get like some team switch ups or something like that. We'll get some team switch ups and stuff like that. If we just, it's the whole thing. I think it's just like, if we get into an arc and we just write it around another character. If a new arc starts, we write it around another character, and then we just move forward. Watch we get a Sato and Oyama arc just to troll the fans. I think it's sometimes what I don't get is when you'll have someone say, I don't understand, like these characters are unimportant. Like it's not for everyone, but the people that say like this character is unimportant, we don't care about this character, yada 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 yada. And then when they do get a part in the story, it's just like, I don't like, it's like, now here's the section where this character could be relevant, and you kind of like stubbornly don't want to like attach to it. It's like, get him out of here. It's just like, well, this is the moment that is kind of validating them, so here you go. Like, this is your validation moment for the character, and you just don't want to read it. I don't know. Now we got some Aoyama shine too. Those are very mini arc with the cheese, but we got that. Watch we get a Mineta chapter next. Mineta has some depths as a character that we could dive into, but people just see him as the pervert because he's the comedic relief of the class, so that's all he'll be. You'll never get people to actually like him. You'll never get people to actually like him. Sad, but whatever. I feel this, like, me and Dexter's on the same page as that. He's like, it's the same thing with Endeavor. People are gonna just pin everything on Endeavor. They won't let him change as a character. He's gonna be like, we're going through arcs of the man changing, and you won't let him change. He's still gonna be the abuser forever. Like, come on. It's like the same thing like in real life. Whenever there's like a couple, and like the man cheats and he commits infidelity in his marriage, and then the wife takes him back, and then you never hear of infidelity ever again, and they never have an issue never again, and she forgives him, and they move past it, and they work together, and they build a loving relationship on top of all of that happened, and they can move forward in their life. And then you on the outside of their relationship call him a cheater because he did it. It's kind of that. It's kind of, you're still condemning him for the thing that he did in the past, instead of attempting to forgive him or understand what happened and how he's moved forward and how he's changed as a person. That's what the Endeavor situation is. And people just won't let him change. Mineta is a saint comrade to Master Roshi. People love Master Roshi, and Master Roshi is a pervert. Capital pervert. Like, he's a capital pervert, and people love Roshi. Like, Tokuyama got bullied as a kid. He probably did, most likely. I think you kind of get hinted at it. What if Mineta was the UA trader? Yeah, but Roshi is from a different time in anime standards. Yeah, but like, people go hard on Mineta, but Mineta's a I don't know. People call me a hypocrite if I say that. Roshi's hundreds of years, is over 100 years old. Mineta's 15. Mineta's 15. Granted, it's still wrong, but he's 15. He's the same age as these girls. They beat the hell out of him anytime he does something. Literally. Bulma was 16 and Roshi was like 150. This shit's sick. It's sick. It's sick. I don't think a lot of people realize how old Roshi actually is. Fortune Teller Baba The lady, the old short lady with the pink hair and the orb is his sister. Like, people don't realize how old Roshi is. Roshi's not like 60 or 70. Multiply that. Multiply that by like 2 or 3. He's old as dirt. Still alive, kicking. Nose bleeding and everything. Him being a pervert is the cover story. Would have been the perv is the cover story. There's a time skip. Watch people fanboy over Mineta and his new design. If we were to time skip, I honestly do think Hori would completely change Mineta's character design. He would totally change Mineta's whole character. If I had a story, I would do that. Because I'm not on the internet, but there's some things that I get exposed to, and how everybody lost their minds over Compress's face reveal and how they went crazy over him. If we time skipped, I totally would change Mineta's whole design. I would growth spurt him and I would make him handsome. Thank you, Whitney Martin. Thank you. I would growth spurt him and make him handsome, and it would just confuse everybody. And now it's gonna be like, well, what about now, all you superficial people? Because a lot of fans, Deacon Flakes, Fates, a lot of people are superficial. So it's just like, how you feel now? I would love that. I would love that. I can name 10 other shows that are popular right now with way worse characters. Yep. The jokes never hit for me, which is why I don't like them. It just comes off as obnoxious. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Mineta cracks me up. I judge the barometer. I judge the barometer on stuff by my mom, because my mom does, like, she don't get down with none of that stuff. Like, she's not, like, she likes anime, but she's not deep in it. So if something like turns her off, I'm just like, well, I kind of judge the barometer as that. Mineta is hilarious to her. Mineta is absolutely hilarious to her, and she does not get down like with that stuff at all, with like the pervy jokes and anything. But when he pops up on the screen, it makes her laugh. So that's how I kind of judge the barometer of it too. And I've always been cool. Like, Mineta's always been funny to me. I think that's why I like Mineta. I guarantee you, if we time skipped and Mineta got a character change and he was handsome, the fandom would completely shift. We would get all the glow up comparisons, and everybody would be riding him then. Absolutely, 100%. I'm telling you, when I look at characters in a story. When I look at characters in a story and I see their characters changing, and I see people like won't allow them to change, it just makes me look at the person who's not allowing them to change in a different way. I just know what I can and can't talk to you about, and how far I would take said conversation, because obviously you're someone that holds on to things. So yeah, you can figure out a lot about a person, about the kind of opinions of fake characters that they hold, believe it or not. I mean, at a character development arc where he goes from perv to Chad would be, I would love it. I would love it. I would love it so much. If Mineta was hot. If Mineta was hot, tall, and a pervert, most people would not have a problem. Okay, but do you say Mineta or Mineta? Mineta? I think I say Mineta. I think I say Mineta. I don't know what I say. I have no idea what I say. I say something Neta. As long as the M and Neta get pronounced, I think I flip flop all the time. I would love a character development arc if Mineta. His name means Cunningless. I can't pronounce that either. It's Cunningless. I think that's how you say it in some Slavic languages. Interesting. I would prefer Mineta to stay pervert. I kind of would too. Bond from Nanatsu no Taizai is dating a woman who looks like a child and people seem to give him a pass. I know I did. And I'm usually not a fan of that stuff. I'm usually not a fan of the lowly stuff. But I think it's just because people like Bond as a character. Oh. Hey Claudia, how are you? I think I'm not a fan of the lowly stuff, but I loved Bond's character. So just getting his whole backstory, I just accepted Elaine for what she was. A lowly that was thousands of years old. I have a splitting headache. Oh my goodness. Oh, my head is pounding right now. Oh my gosh. I would like Deku to be a little cold. I would too, but as much as we sit here and we think about all the different ways and arcs we would love Deku to go through, I don't think the needle on Deku's character is actually gonna move that much if I'm being realistic. Like if I'm being actually realistic and just following the story as to what it's given us so far, I do not think his character is gonna move. I totally would recommend it. I would say watch the anime. I would absolutely 100% say watch the anime. It's very like it's a shonen series that is based on superheroes, which is usually like a North American thing. So it's an interesting blend in how they do it, but I totally would recommend it. It's very like how do you say it, like intro friendly? Not intro friendly. It's very like casual friendly. It's a casual friendly series. It's easy to get into. So I would say yes. Yes, please listen to Dexter. Do not engage online about this series because you're going to be very like it's going to be just like it's kind of disgusting. Stay off the internet with it. Just enjoy it in your own free time. Do what I used to do. I never used to go on the internet for my hero, and now I do. And I kind of hate it. Worse than toxic. Deku loses his... What do you mean he loses his memories of everyone? Oh, you would like him to lose his memories? It probably has the worst fandom in manga right now. The worst? I put One Piece up there too. I put One Piece up there. I do put One Piece up there. My hero's high, but I put One Piece up there. The One Piece fandom can just be outright disgusting. The Attack on Titan fandom just can't they just can't shut up. The Attack on Titan, the Demon Slayer fan base is like that because of the harsh response to Demon Slayer. That's why the Demon Slayer fan base is like that. We said it at the same time, yeah. The Demon Slayer fan base is like that because of all the other fan bases going hard at Demon Slayer. So now they feel like they have to fight it. Nah, Dexter, the Black Clover fandom is disgusting too. But One Piece, it's the simple fact alone that Demon Slayer got popular and the One Piece fans lost it. Demon Slayer fans, I don't think they were crazy toxic like that until everyone started to go crazy. Demon Slayer sucks. Demon Slayer this. Demon Slayer that. It's not good. It's not good. Only the anime made it good. The ending of the manga was bad. That's when the Demon Slayer fandom just was like, "Hey, yo, what the hell is going on?" It's kind of like, what the hell is going on? Why are y'all going crazy like this? Now we about to be like, that's. I think it was in a response to that. I do think it was in response to all the craziness that was going down. It's crazy. An ending of Demon Slayer does not deserve the hate it gets. It's like, come on. Yeah. Like the Demon Slayer fandom, Demon Slayer was fine. And then the anime came out and everybody was on board. Demon Slayer was still fine. There was no toxic stuff. Like Demon Slayer was literally the case of not even like it got popular and became toxic, because when it got popular, it still wasn't toxic. As soon as Demon Slayer won Anime of the Year, it's like the whole internet turned against it. The whole internet turned against it. And that's what happened. It's so weird. It's like, it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen ever. I like when it said Demon Slayer won Anime of the Year, I was like, and everyone was just going nuts. I'm like, what happened? We just were all freaking out together about episode 19 and now it's terrible. I was like, oh my gosh. It's like that was one of the craziest things that I've seen, like the shift in a series so much. It was the weirdest thing. Tokyo Ghoul fans, they're just pissed off, me included. They're just pissed. The first season was good, and then Route 8 was Route A might be the worst thing I've ever watched. I would rather watch the last season of the last season of Nanatsu no Taizai that was like absolutely horrendously animated. I would watch that over watching Route A. I would sop up that season of Nanatsu no Taizai over watching Tokyo Ghoul Route A, for the simple fact of, even though it was poorly animated, the story was kept intact. The instant people started to appreciate the characters and some aspects of the story and made reviews and stuff, the intellectuals. Yep, that's true. That's true. It's inevitable. I think Jujutsu Kaisen is gonna I think the same thing happened with Demon Slayer is gonna happen to Jujutsu Kaisen. I just think that when we reach the conclusion of this season, people are gonna the same arguments are gonna be made. Dude, you're only talking like this because your anime is good. It's all that BS nonsense. Promise Neverland finna been. No, it's not, because the fans are the reason why this is kind of happening. I still stand by that 100%. You can tell me otherwise. The fans are the reason why this anime fiasco is happening, so. And the manga didn't deserve that either. But I'm just the guy that likes everything, so I guess I can't have these opinions. I just like everything until there's the things I don't like. I still stick by the fact of, yeah. The problem is that people assume that if you think one series is good, then they assume you think their favorite is trash. I don't like that. I hate that. It's either we live in a society nowadays where it's either good or trash. Like it's either the best thing ever or it's absolutely trash. No, something can be good can be okay, something can just be just fine, and something can be kind of and something can be bad. Like what? Like, we don't live in a black and white world. We don't, and people treat this stuff like it's black and white. Do you like it? It's okay. That means you hate it. No, it's okay. Like, it's like I enjoy watching it week to week. I don't know. I don't know. One Piece fans are super defensive. Emotional talk. We always get here. We always get here at some point. I honestly would have, if I'm being honest, I probably am never going to enjoy One Piece in its full. I'm probably never going to. Like, I have a friend where he's just like, One Piece is the greatest story I've ever read in my entire life. And I'm just like, okay. I kind of, it's like, because I can't have the opinions that I have because I haven't watched the series. But I have opinions. But I don't voice them because I've digested like 91 episodes of One Piece and all the big moments and nothing in between. So I really can't have an opinion, but I have my own biased opinion in my brain about One Piece. Spoiler alert, I don't think it's the greatest story ever told. But that's just me. I'm not gonna hop on the internet and shout from the mountaintops as if I have read the whole thing. One old anime I want to return is Ramno one. Yeah. Human nature is to be tribalistic about everything. Soccer fans in Europe literally beat each other to death and set stuff on. That's true. That is true. One Piece story is good, but for me personally, it's not the greatest series. I think my one criticism on One Piece, I think my one criticism is whenever I found out that you, like, one of the arcs, I think Dressrosa in One Piece, like One Piece is a weekly series, and I think Dressrosa was like 2 years. It was like 2 years, and like in story time, not that much time passed. And I'm just like, from an outside perspective looking in, that just seems weird to me. That just seems like weird to me, unless I'm wrong. But Dressrosa was like a really long arc, because I remember whenever Dressrosa was ending, like the conversation on the internet, this was years ago, was like, we don't know what Nami and the other people are doing because you spent all that time with Luffy and Sabo and all that stuff. Sorry if I'm spoiling you. The stuff happened like 5 years ago. But and this shows I pay attention to One Piece, right? I pay attention to One Piece, but it was just like, we need to see what they're doing, and like someone like literally was like, dude, it's only been like a couple days, right? It's like, it's only been like a couple days. Like, it's like, for us it's been years, but for the characters in the series it hasn't been, but I don't know how long Dressrosa was in story time, but it hasn't been that long. So they're not going to look different. They're not going to be different. They're just going to pick up where they left off. It's weird. So that the entire canon story of One Piece is only 2 years long. That junk is weird to me. That junk is weird to me. How long has One Piece been running? 20 years? See ya, Simo. One Piece, like, that's just weird. 20 years for 2 years is crazy. It's crazy to me. And maybe if I just read the story, it'll make sense. But outside looking in, that's kind of crazy. "21 years. That's nuts. For 2 years, that's crazy. Dressrosa was also just really boring, according to a friend of mine. If you ask the One Piece fans, like the ending of Dressrosa, I know was pretty hype. The ending of Dressrosa is pretty hype because I read all that stuff, like all the Gear 4 stuff. I read all that. That was the end of Dressrosa, right? Dressrosa was Doflamingo, right? All the Gear 4 stuff at the end of that arc, I read all that. I was reading that. I read for like, I want to say about like 2 months. I was reading One Piece week to week. Because Dressrosa was at the same time that Naruto was ending, wasn't it? Yeah, like I think Dressrosa was the same time that the war arc was happening in Naruto, and it was like the ending of the war arc. Matter of fact, the last chapter of One Piece that I've actually read with my own 2 eyes was the chapter of Kaido, when they're like explaining what Kaido was, and you see that he like jumped off this mountain. Like that's the last chapter I read. I'm not spoiling you because if you start One Piece now, you're not gonna remember anything I'm saying. Matt Glover's the opposite. We'll go through 3 years of training in 46 hours. I'm sorry for One Piece fans, but I watched like 400 episodes of One Piece. The anime is poorly paced. I would say you read One Piece and then you watch the anime because you'll know what to skip. Because you'll know what to watch. The pacing for One Piece is atrocious, but the anime now is really good. I do know that. I'm ending the stream. We're talking about One Piece. This is My Hero stream. I always do it. Always sidetrack. I'm sorry. We're talking about One Piece now. I'm ending the stream. Thank you guys. I'm moving the manual focus from now on so we don't have to deal with this shenanigans from the camera. I'm about to go watch Attack on Titan and get some food because I'm pretty sure I have this headache from not eating. I'm gonna watch Attack on Titan. I'm gonna be in the Discord, probably drop how I feel about the episode in the Discord. We could talk about it. I appreciate you guys for being here. This weekend has been a pretty nuts weekend. I still didn't change. Thank you. You keep reminding me, Rock, and I keep saying thank you, and then I'm telling you right now, Rock, I'm getting out of this chair. Well, no, I'm getting up. I'll update this My Hero thing later. I'm gonna go upstairs and then I'm gonna come back down. But I'll do it then. So this weekend has been pretty crazy for the channel, for growth wise. Thank you, Horimiya. Thank you, Horimiya, but it's pretty cool. I think like in the time span of a week, we've gained like 100 subs. Crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So I want to say Friday we had like 860 something, and now we're at 900. It's nuts. So I appreciate you guys for being here, for sliding through every Sunday to read some My Hero. I appreciate you all. Tomorrow is going to be the blog post stream for Tower of God, so that'll happen. I don't know who's gonna show up, but that'll happen. I had to find that email, NW. You sent me that email. I gotta go search for it. I didn't save it, so I gotta do that. We'll do that tomorrow. And then Tuesday we're starting Haikyuu. So yeah, we're starting Haikyuu on Tuesday, so be on the lookout. I thank you guys. Peace out.